Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be happy? In a world where people chase wealth, success, and recognition, happiness often feels like a distant dream. But what if I told you that a 93-year-old who has lived through decades of triumphs and tragedies holds the ultimate key to happiness? Imagine hearing life lessons distilled over nearly a century, a perspective few of us can even fathom. Today, we're uncovering the secrets to happiness straight from the heart of someone who's seen it all. So stay tuned, because this wisdom has the power to change your life forever. Before we dive in, hit that like button to support this channel and subscribe if you're ready to unlock more transformative insights. Let's get started. 1. Happiness is a choice, not a destination. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and the first thought that crosses your mind is how much is wrong in your life. You think about the job you don't love, the bills you need to pay, or the mistakes you made yesterday. Now, what if I told you that this pattern of thinking is a choice, not a necessity? A 93-year-old man who has lived through wars, economic collapses, and personal heartbreak has a profound message for all of us. Happiness doesn't come from where you are or what you have. It comes from how you see the world. Think about that for a moment. This man has outlived almost everyone he once knew. He's experienced pain and loss on a level most of us fear. And yet, he smiles every single day. He tells us that the secret to happiness is simple. Stop waiting for perfect conditions to feel joy. Stop telling yourself, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion." Or, "I'll be happy when I meet the love of my life." These thoughts are traps. If happiness always depends on the next big thing, you'll spend your entire life chasing something that will forever be out of reach. Instead, he says, look for joy in the smallest of moments. Picture this: the warmth of the morning sun on your skin as you step outside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee, the sight of a child laughing in a park, completely lost in the moment. A simple smile exchanged with a stranger that instantly brightens your day. These tiny moments are what life is made of, and yet we overlook them every single day. The 93-year-old tells us, "When I was younger, I thought happiness was about the big wins in life, getting the house, the career, the recognition. But now I realize that the big wins are nothing compared to the small joys I ignored." And here's the key: gratitude. Start each day by focusing on what's right in your life, no matter how small or insignificant it might seem. The fact that you woke up this morning, breathing and alive, that alone is a gift. Make it a habit. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the fact that you have clean water to drink, or that you heard your favorite song on the radio yesterday. Science even backs this up. When you practice gratitude consistently, it physically rewires your brain. It trains your mind to focus on the positive, to seek out joy in places you would have otherwise missed. Now ask yourself this: are you living in such a way that you'll only look back one day and realize you missed the beauty of ordinary moments? Or will you take control now, choose happiness, and allow gratitude to reshape your world? Because, as the 93-year-old reminds us, happiness isn't some distant destination. It's here right now, waiting for you to notice it. 2. Relationships matter more than anything else. Imagine being at the end of your life, sitting in a quiet room surrounded by everything you've accumulated over the years: money in the bank, the latest gadgets, expensive furniture. Now imagine that room completely empty of people. No voices, no laughter, no presence of those you love. How much would all that wealth mean to you in that moment? A 93-year-old man, looking back on nearly a century of life, shares a powerful revelation. "If I could tell my younger self one thing, it would be this: invest in people, not things." His words hit like a hammer, don't they? We live in a world that glorifies possessions, bigger houses, fancier cars, the latest technology. These are the things society tells us will make us happy. But this man, with the wisdom of decades behind him, says that none of it compares to the joy of holding someone's hand, sharing a heartfelt conversation, or hearing the laughter of someone you love. He tells us that true happiness doesn't come from what's in your pocket. It comes from what's in your heart. Money can buy you a house, but it can't make it a home. It can pay for lavish vacations, but it can't create the kind of memories that warm your soul on lonely nights. This old man has lived through moments of great loss. He's seen friends and loved ones pass away, and he knows the pain of loneliness all too well. He admits that one of the hardest parts of growing old is watching people drift away, whether through the passage of time or the simple fact that life gets busy. But those who made the effort to stay connected, to nurture their relationships, find a fulfillment that no material possession can offer. He gives this challenge. Think about the people in your life, your family, your friends, even the neighbors you wave to every morning. When was the last time you truly connected with them? Not a text message, not a quick hello, but a deep, meaningful conversation. The 93-year-old urges us to take action now. Call your parents and ask how they're doing. Hug your children a little tighter tonight. Reconnect with an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. It might feel small in the moment, but those little acts of connection are what build a life of happiness. He shares a haunting thought. The biggest regret I hear from people my age is this: I wish I had spent more time with the people who mattered. Don't let that be your story. Don't let work, stress, or distractions steal the moments that truly count. Science supports what he's saying. Studies show that strong social connections improve not only mental health, but physical health too. People with close relationships live longer, happier lives. The presence of someone who cares about you can lower your stress, boost your mood, and even protect you from illness. And here's the truth: people won't always be there. Time is unforgiving, and the moments you have today can never be replaced. If you don't prioritize the people you love now, you might look back one day and wish you had. So here's your task. Before this day ends, call someone you love. Tell them how much they mean to you. Share a memory that makes you both laugh. It might seem small, but that single act of love could ripple through both your lives in ways you can't imagine. Because as the 93-year-old says, when it's all said and done, you won't remember the money you made or the things you bought. You'll remember the people who made your life worth living. 3. Let go of what you can't control. Imagine this. You're carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a worry, a regret, a grudge, or something you can't change. Day after day, you carry this weight with you, through work, relationships, and even moments meant to bring you joy. Now ask yourself, how long can you keep carrying this load before it breaks you? A 93-year-old man, reflecting on a lifetime of experiences, offers us a profound truth. The things I spent my youth worrying about rarely mattered in the end. These are the words of someone who has faced unimaginable challenges, endured loss, and lived through decades of change. And yet, with all his wisdom, he tells us that one of the most important lessons he learned was this: let go of what you can't control. Think about your own life for a moment. How much time have you spent replaying mistakes from the past, obsessing over things you said or didn't say, or worrying endlessly about a future that hasn't even arrived? All of that mental energy, all of that stress, does nothing but rob you of the most valuable thing you have, the present moment. The old man shares a painful realization. In my younger days, I used to hold grudges. I thought holding on to anger would protect me, but in reality, it only hurt me more. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. The only person it destroys is you. He goes on to explain that forgiveness isn't about excusing the other person. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of anger and pain. Forgive others not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And it's not just about forgiving others, it's about forgiving yourself too. He tells us, "I wasted so much time beating myself up over things I couldn't change. But as I grew older, I realized I was only human. Mistakes are part of life, and regret is the most useless burden you can carry." The 93-year-old emphasizes that letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting. Accepting that the past is done, the future is uncertain, and the only moment you truly have control over is this one, right here, right now. He says, "When I finally let go of my need to control everything, I found peace. And in that peace, I found happiness." Here's what you can do to start letting go. Shift your focus. When you feel yourself spiraling into worry or regret, pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, "Can I change this?" If the answer is no, then it's time to let it go. Shift your focus to something you can control, like your attitude or your actions. Practice forgiveness. Write down the name of someone who hurt you and then write, "I forgive you, not for you, but for me." You don't need to say it to their face. This is about freeing yourself from their grip on your emotions. Embrace mindfulness. Spend time each day focusing on the present moment. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting quietly, this practice helps you appreciate what you have right now, instead of being trapped in what was or what might be. The 93-year-old leaves us with a haunting thought. "I've seen so many people lose precious years to worry, anger, and regret. Don't let that be you. So take a deep breath and let go of what you can't control. Life is too short to carry a burden that doesn't belong to you." Happiness, he reminds us, isn't about having everything go your way. It's about finding peace in the chaos. And when you let go, you free yourself to truly live. 4. Keep learning and growing. Imagine this. You meet someone who has lived for 93 years, through wars, revolutions, and the rise of technology, and yet his eyes light up like a child's when he talks about something new he learned yesterday. What's his secret? He smiles and says with a twinkle in his eye, "The secret to staying young is curiosity." Think about that for a moment. We often associate age with slowing down, with letting the world pass us by. But this man, despite having lived nearly a century, finds joy and excitement in learning something new every single day. He's proof that growth doesn't stop when you age. It stops when you stop trying. The 93-year-old shares a powerful truth. "Every time I learn something new, it's like I'm adding another spark to my life. It keeps me alive, engaged, and excited about tomorrow." He explains that curiosity is what keeps the mind sharp and the soul young. He tells us that one of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that learning ends after school or when they settle into their careers. But learning isn't just about degrees or promotions. It's about staying connected to the world, to yourself, and to the endless possibilities life offers. And it doesn't have to be grand or complicated. For him, learning might be as simple as trying a new recipe, discovering a new flower in the garden, or learning how to say thank you in a foreign language. These little things, he says, make life feel fresh, even after 93 years. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you learned something new? When did you last feel the thrill of discovering something for the first time? If it's been too long, maybe it's time to rekindle that spark of curiosity. The old man gives us this challenge. Set a goal to learn something new every week. It doesn't matter how small or trivial it seems. Learn how to fix something around the house, pick up a few words in a new language, or explore a topic you've always been curious about. Why is this so important? Because learning gives you purpose. It adds meaning to your days and excitement to your life. Even science backs this up. Studies show that lifelong learning boosts mental health, improves memory, and even increases happiness. It's like exercise for your brain, keeping it active and vibrant. And the benefits go beyond yourself. When you keep learning, you inspire the people around you, your friends, your children, your community. You show them that it's never too late to grow, to dream, and to explore. The 93-year-old reflects on his life and says, "I've seen people give up on themselves too soon. They settle into routines and stop trying new things, and that's when they truly start to age." But he also reminds us, "I've seen people in their 80s and 90s learn to paint, play music, or write books, and every time it filled their lives with new energy." So here's your task. Right now, think of one thing you've always wanted to learn. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's baking a cake, fixing a broken faucet, or learning how to greet someone in another language. Commit to learning it this week, because as the 93-year-old says, when you keep learning, you keep living. And when you keep growing, you give yourself the greatest gift of all, a life full of curiosity, excitement, and endless possibilities. Let curiosity be your guide, no matter your age. It's the spark that keeps your soul alive, the key to staying young, and a reminder that life is always ready to teach you something new if you're willing to listen. 5. Find purpose in every day. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine waking up every morning with a deep sense of meaning, a reason to get out of bed, even on the hardest days. Picture knowing, at the end of each day, that your actions, no matter how small, added something to the world. This is the secret the 93-year-old man shares. Happiness isn't just about feeling good, it's about living with meaning. He tells us that too many people chase happiness like it's some fleeting emotion, a burst of excitement, a moment of pleasure. But true happiness, the kind that lasts, comes from living with purpose. It's not about what you get, it's about what you give. He reflects on his life and says, "Even in the darkest times, I found happiness when I knew I had made a difference, no matter how small. Whether it was helping someone who needed it, sharing my knowledge, or simply planting a tree, those were the moments that gave my life meaning." Now, let's pause and ask yourself this. When was the last time you felt that kind of fulfillment? Not from buying something new or achieving a goal, but from doing something that truly mattered, something that made the world a little better, even in the smallest way. The 93-year-old emphasizes that purpose doesn't have to mean a grand mission. It's not about changing the world overnight or chasing after monumental achievements. It's about finding meaning in the simple, everyday moments. He shares this story. "There was a time when I was too old to work, too frail to do the things I once loved. I felt useless. But then I started teaching the neighborhood kids what I knew, how to fix a bike, how to grow a plant, how to be kind. Suddenly, my days had meaning again. Those small acts, those little moments, brought me more joy than I could have imagined." Purpose can be found in the simplest actions, helping a neighbor. Maybe it's mowing someone's lawn, bringing them a warm meal, or just being there to listen. You might think these are small gestures, but to someone else, they could mean the world. Sharing what you know. Whether it's teaching a child a skill or mentoring someone at work, sharing your knowledge gives your experiences value and helps others grow. Creating something beautiful. Write a poem, paint a picture, or even plant flowers in your garden. Creation is one of the purest forms of purpose because it adds something new and beautiful to the world. He says, "When you look back at your life, It won't be the big accomplishments or the things you owned that make you smile. It'll be the moments you made a difference, the kindness you gave, the love you shared, the lives you touched. And the science backs him up. Studies have shown that people who live with a sense of purpose are not only happier, but healthier, with lower rates of depression and longer lifespans. Purpose gives us a reason to keep going, a light that guides us even when times are tough. But here's the key: purpose isn't something you have to find, it's something you create. It's not waiting for you in some far-off place. It's in the choices you make every single day. So, here's your challenge. When you wake up tomorrow morning, ask yourself, what can I do today to make a difference? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's complimenting someone, calling a loved one, or simply being kind to yourself. Because as the 93-year-old reminds us, when you find meaning in your actions, happiness stops being something you chase. It becomes who you are. Don't wait for purpose to find you. Create it, live it, and watch how it transforms your life. The 93-year-old closes with these words: happiness isn't something you find, it's something you create every single day. And there you have it, wisdom earned through decades of life, distilled into a few powerful truths. Which of these lessons spoke to you the most? Share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Remember, happiness isn't a destination, it's the journey you choose to take every day. See you in the next video.